So we all saw what happened in 2020 with that presidential election and all the shenanigans that took place, and you can bet your bottom dollar that there's going to be a lot of shenanigans with this one as well. In fact, there may even be more shenanigans this time, despite the fact that there's no COVID. With all the illegals, I'm sure that the uniparty elites and people like in the big tech industry have perfected the art of gathering all these individuals that are deceased or have moved out of state and put them on voter rolls, and all this is a lot of this is controlled by the Democratic Party as well. So there'll be plenty of fraud. With that said, I think at this point Trump is so far ahead that he can actually beat the fraud. And I'm not 100% now. Now you got to keep in mind what kind of position that the elites are in, what kind of situation the United States is in politically. The elite are not going to just let Trump waltz in to that position, given their precarious situation as far as holding on to power. And I mean, they have a lot to lose. They have their entire unearned livelihoods to lose. So they're not going to just allow that to happen without a fight. Kamala Harris, unfortunately for them, is so darn unpopular that all the fraud in the world is probably not going to be enough to get her to beat Donald Trump. So that leaves a whole bunch of other questions to be answered. And we can speculate on what the elite are going to do. Of course, they've tried to assassinate Trump. To my surprise, they haven't done very many false flags, or they really haven't done the type of false flags that I was expecting. I was expecting people dressed as Trump supporters to go out and do mass shootings and say that Trump inspired these people, try to make it a race thing. They can still do that in the next, week, that there is left before the election. But so far they haven't done that, which I'm kind of surprised. They may try to assassinate him again. Publicly, he's been, there's been 2 attempts. There probably is more than that we haven't heard of. They could try to start World War III before the election. After that, I don't think it's going to work because Putin is going to know that if he just waits it out, he could try to downplay any escalation until he waits for Trump to get into office. So if they're going to start World War III, they'd have to do it in the next week. I think is what is most likely, what it looks like at this point, what is most likely given their past behavior. I think the uniparty and the elites are going to try to sabotage Trump's second term. And they can do that with all these illegals. They could turn them loose. They can activate their cells, Hezbollah, drug cartel gangs, etc., and cause all kinds of mayhem within the country and, make it so chaotic so that Trump can't do anything. He has his hands tied. They could do that. Somebody actually suggested to me that Kamala Harris is, given the fact that she's the current vice president, she would be the one to actually certify the Electoral College. Hypothetically, she could, maybe cite Russia collusion. The media can drum that up. They've done it before. And they can say that there was too much interference and that she's not going to certify the election. In which case you'll have a constitutional crisis and then a civil war, and they can have a separate inauguration somewhere else in a blue state, and that's a topic for another video, by the way. So we're not out of the woods yet. The elite are not going to just let Trump into office, and the next coming weeks is going to be very critical. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I suspect they're going to try to sabotage his second term. I think that's what they're going to do. That could also backfire on them if they're not careful. But anyway, that's my thoughts for now. And then I'll make another video about a potential Civil War scenario.